with a potential return to WWE and more. This is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching The Wrestling Report. Before we move on, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Rambles with notifications on, and don't forget to like the video. Asked about other ventures outside of pro wrestling, Eric Young told House of Wrestling, "I have very exciting news that I can't say, but I'll say I have another show in the works that will be airing very soon. I'll be shooting in November. I can say that it is musically based, and anyone that personally knows me or follows me on Instagram, you know that collecting vinyl records is a massive part of my life. I have over 2,500 of them. I started collecting and I've been collecting for about 8 years. It has to do with vinyl records and my love of music, and I'll be able to show more information really soon. It's super exciting, man." WWE recently announced 27 live events that will take place next year. As Wrestling Inc. wrote, January's first WWE SmackDown house show will emanate from the Rogers Arena in Vancouver, Canada on January 5th. The other episodes will occur in Lincoln, Nebraska, January 12th, Atlanta, Georgia, January 19th, and Miami, Florida, January 26th. WWE Raw, meanwhile, will roar into Portland, Oregon, January 8th, North Little Rock, Arkansas, January 5th, and New Orleans, Louisiana, January 22nd. That same month, the company will also host live Super Show events in Spokane, Washington, January 6th, Wenatchee, Washington, January 7th, Las Cruces, New Mexico, January 13th, Rio Rancho, New Mexico, January 14th, Montgomery, Alabama, January 20th, and Jackson, Mississippi, January 21st. February will feature a host of Road to WrestleMania shows as WWE etches closer to the Showcase of the Immortals. The first will take place in Knoxville, Tennessee, February 3rd, with others happening in Oakland, California, February 17th, and Fresno, California, February 18th, respectively. Elsewhere, SmackDown will roll into Birmingham, Alabama, February 2nd, Charlotte, North Carolina, February 9th, and Salt Lake City, Utah, February 16th. Raw will visit St. Louis, Missouri, February 5th, Lexington, Kentucky, February 12th, Anaheim, California, February 19th, and San Jose, California, February 26th. Finally, SmackDown is heading to Glendale, Arizona on March 1st, with subsequent shows to be hosted in Dallas March 8th and Milwaukee, Wisconsin March 22nd. Only one Raw date has been confirmed so far, which is for San Antonio, Texas on March 4th. Mentioning his physical transformation for the Iron Claw movie, where he will be playing Kevin Von Erich, Zac Efron said this about it to Men's Health. "There's this trigger that happens after 2 or 3 weeks of dieting and eating healthy food where your body switches its primary energy source from burning mainly carbohydrates to burning fat. And when it switches over, all your cravings change. You go, holy cow, I want kale and vinaigrette shredded with beets and a little bit of sweet potato. I guess the philosophy around my current diet is intermittent fasting mixed with getting enough nutrition to sort of sustain me throughout the day. I usually have my highest carbohydrate meal sort of in the evening. That's usually another really good source of meat and a healthy carbohydrate like sweet potatoes or quinoa." In a shocking turn of events, the Nature Boy Ric Flair made his AEW debut, as Ringside News said this about how this all came together with Sting announcing his retirement from pro wrestling. Fast forward to the present, and AEW's mastermind Tony Khan had a specific vision. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, he wanted Ric Flair to be a pivotal part of Sting's retirement tour, building up to Sting's final match at Revolution 2024. It's a wrestling dream come true for fans to witness these two icons team up and create memorable moments in the ring. But that's not all. Discussions are already underway about AEW promoting Ric Flair's new Woo energy drink during his tenure with the company. Flair's larger-than-life persona and signature catchphrase are sure to bring a burst of energy to AEW and its fan base. Speaking about the matchup for the undisputed Universal title between the champion Roman Reigns and LA Knight at Crown Jewel, WWE commentator Corey Graves said on After the Bell, "There's an old adage in this business, the money is the chase. You want to see your favorite chasing the champion, coming up short, and being denied so that they can come back even stronger. And maybe the timing isn't right, but maybe it is. Maybe LA Knight does manage to pull off the impossible, in which case, yes, it screws up all of Roman's grandiose plans for the record books, at least the few records that are left that he hasn't overtaken already, which that would be a little disheartening and disappointing from a fan's perspective. But LA Knight is the guy right now, the guy that people want. People are clamoring for more for LA Knight. If he does manage to do it, you have a very valid point. Maybe a few weeks from now, people go, that was our guy, but now he's at the top of the mountain." For an update on the latest signing to a developmental deal for WWE, Ringside News wrote that WWE continues to tap into the wealth of athletic talent brought in through the Next in Line program, and the latest addition to their NXT roster is none other than Peyton Prussian. This collegiate wrestling powerhouse has inked a full-time NXT developmental deal, as reported by PW Insider. Peyton Prussian, part of the third wave of NIL signings earlier this year, comes with an impressive background in collegiate wrestling. Hailing from Life University, she's no stranger to the winner's circle, having clinched multiple NAIA championships. But her athletic prowess doesn't stop there. Prussian also boasts experience in martial arts, making her a well-rounded addition to the WWE family. As Logan Paul is looking to take on Rey Mysterio, it appears another bout could already be in the pipeline for the Maverick, as BWE noted on X. Early talks, discussions over Kevin Owens versus Logan Paul in the future. Touching on an apparent spoiler for plans regarding Karrion Kross in WWE, BWE simply wrote on X that Karrion Kross build will resume post-Crown Jewel. Revealing that he has had conversations with WWE, New Japan star, and current never openweight champion Toma Tonga told Fightful, "Yes, I was in talks with them, very much interest in myself and my brother. Out of respect for New Japan, I have to always give them the doors first and see what they can do. Yes, there was a period of a few months of myself working without a contract to give New Japan a chance. I know in this game it can get messy with contracts and the way we're talking right now. I was raised by my father on the way to go about business and treat loyalty and respect to those who put me through the door. New Japan first and foremost. Yes, there was talks with WWE. I don't know anything about the hiring freeze. I ended up choosing New Japan at the end, and here we are." When it comes to former Impact Wrestling star Sami Callihan, who is now a free agent, making the move to AEW, Wrestling Inc. wrote that per the Wrestling Observer newsletter, there has been chatter surrounding Callihan perhaps taking a role in AEW. As for what that spot might be, details are much harder to pin down. Everything from an in-ring wrestler to something behind the scenes, likely an agent or producer, has been thrown against the wall. But with Callihan taking dates for the foreseeable future, no agreement between the two sides appears to be all that close right now. It seems that former WWE star Heath Slater might not be returning to Impact Wrestling, as it was reported that Fightful Select has learned that Heath Miller, who simply goes by Heath in Impact Wrestling, is now a free agent. Heath's deal with Impact has expired, and he is now accepting bookings. In a promotional photo for the Elimination Chamber event that will be held in Perth, Australia next year, the undisputed Universal Champion Roman Reigns is missing from the photo, as this could indicate that he will not be making an appearance there. With him previously suffering a concussion during a match against Rey Fenix on AEW Dynamite last month, Jon Moxley has now addressed this, telling the Messenger, "In pro wrestling, it's a really touchy subject. Somebody's got to bring it up. Pro wrestling is such a strange thing. In football, if a guy goes down and he doesn't go back to the huddle, you know he's messed up. In pro wrestling, a lot of times it's hard to tell what's real and what's fake. Maybe a really experienced wrestler and a really experienced doctor who are trained to see signs of that are watching it on a separate feed. Even if they have a doctor close to ringside, what if the guy spills outside the ring? He doesn't see that. The doctor and wrestler are completely untethered to the creative portion of it. They have no idea nor any interest in what the story is, who wins, who loses, or how long it's supposed to go. If a guy spins around or something and the doctor goes, 'Is he okay?' the wrestler can tell him, 'That's just a pro wrestling thing, don't worry.' As soon as the doctor sees a sign of somebody being concussed, he just hits the red button. Boom, this is over. No matter how much time is left, no matter if it's on live TV, it's just over and you figure it out from there." Going over a reported return to WWE for Randy Orton, who has been out of action recovering from a back fusion surgery since last year, Ringside News wrote that according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Survivor Series is the suggested time frame for the much anticipated Orton comeback. So folks, buckle up because it looks like we won't have to wait much longer. Within a month's time, we might witness the RKO Master back in action. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.